In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that his presidency was one of the most polarizing and talked about in modern history. Trump is a very controversial figure and he has a lot of supporters, but he also had a lot of detractors. Today, we delve into the enigmatic world of American politics as we uncover the truth behind Donald Trump's successful presidency,
President of the United States.
his upbringing, contributions to the nation, and the reasons behind his second election loss. Furthermore, we'll explore the possibility of his return to the presidential arena. So without further ado, let's embark on this compelling journey.
Millionaire developer Donald Trump has put his name on a New York City hotel, shopping center, and apartment buildings, as well as a casino in Atlantic City. And now he's going to put his name on a big piece of Eastern Airline.
To understand the rise of Donald Trump, we must first look into his early life. Born on June 14, 1946 in Queens, New York. He is the fourth of 5 children born to Frederick Christ Trump and Mary Ann McLeod Trump. His father, Frederick Christ Trump, commonly known as Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer and businessman. Fred Trump's business acumen and ambition played a significant role in shaping Donald Trump's entrepreneurial spirit. From a young age, Donald observed his father's success and learned the ins and outs of the real estate business. He often credited his father as one of his main inspirations and mentors. Trump inherited his father's real estate business and quickly made a name for himself in the world of New York City development. Over the years, he earned significant wealth and fame, building iconic properties like Trump Tower and Trump Plaza. His flamboyant lifestyle and appearances in the media, including a starring role on The Apprentice, catapulted him to celebrity status. As the years went by, Trump's ambition expanded beyond real estate and entertainment. In 2000, he briefly explored a presidential run under the Reform Party, but didn't pursue it further.
The President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Sounds good.
However, this venture foreshadowed a future in politics. It wasn't until June 16, 2015, that Trump formally announced his candidacy for the Republican Party's nomination in the 2016 presidential election.
I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States.
His campaign was unconventional to say the least, promising to make America great again while challenging the political establishment. As president, Trump implemented various policies, including tax cuts, deregulation, and criminal justice reform. One of the cornerstones of Donald Trump's presidency was his approach to the economy. By reforming tax, he mainly aimed to increase growth and encourage job facilities. Trump, as a president, signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act into law in December 2017.
The president today signing that tax cut bill into law, surrounded by cameras in the Oval Office,
which by a far margin reduced individual and corporate tax rates. Many Americans were at ease while at creating and managing business investment and widely expanding economic scenarios. Donald Trump adopted the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the most comprehensive set of tax reforms in history. Small businesses can now deduct 20% of their business income. Businesses can now deduct 100% of the cost of their capital investments in the year the investment is made. Over 400 companies have announced bonuses, wage increases, new hires, or new investments in the United States. Supporters argue that these tax cuts contributed to a strong economy, record low unemployment, and a booming stock market. However, critics argue that these policies disproportionately benefited the wealthy and increased the national debt. One of the central promises of Donald Trump's campaign was to bring back jobs to America and revitalize industries.
I'm going to bring back millions of jobs. Protecting our workers also means reforming our system of legal immigration.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics from January 2017 to January 2021, the U.S. economy added approximately 6.6 million jobs. Before the COVID-19 pandemic hit in early 2020, unemployment rates reached a historically low 3.5%. This trend suggests that job creation was indeed a notable aspect of Trump's presidency. Trump focused heavily on revitalizing the manufacturing sector, which had experienced job losses in previous years. During his tenure, the manufacturing industry added around 483,000 jobs. Over the course of 10 years, the USMCA is anticipated to generate over $68 billion in economic activity and possibly over 550,000 new employments. Donald Trump also pledged to invest in infrastructure during his campaign, proposing a $1.5 trillion infrastructure plan. However, despite discussions and some initiatives, a comprehensive infrastructure plan did not materialize during his presidency. Trump's trade policies aimed to protect American industries and jobs by imposing tariffs on foreign goods. The most significant features of Trump's trade policy were the imposition of tariffs on a wide range of goods, particularly from China. The U.S.-China trade war affected billions of dollars worth of goods, leading to increased costs for American consumers and businesses. While some argued that these measures were necessary to address unfair trade practices by China, others expressed concern about the negative impact on global supply chains and economic uncertainty. Overall, U.S. trade deficit remained significant, leading to debates about the effectiveness of his approach in achieving this goal. During his presidency, Donald Trump had a significant impact on the federal judiciary by making numerous changes, especially with regards to appointing judges to federal courts. Perhaps the most prominent and lasting impact of Trump's presidency on the judiciary was his opportunity to nominate 3 justices to the Supreme Court of the United States. He appointed and had confirmed over 200 judges to the U.S. These judges play a crucial role in handling federal cases across various legal issues. The appointments had a lasting impact on the ideological balance of the federal courts and will continue to shape legal decisions and precedents for years to come. Donald Trump made securing the U.S. border a central focus of his administration's policies. His approach to border security included a combination of measures aimed at controlling immigration and strengthening border barriers. One of the most high-profile aspects of Trump's border security strategy was his promise to build a border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. The wall was intended to deter illegal crossings and enhance security. Trump prioritized strengthening the U.S. military and increasing defense spending.
We have invested a record-breaking $2.2 trillion in the United States military.
He advocated for modernizing the U.S. military, including updating nuclear capabilities, investing in advanced weapon systems, and improving cybersecurity capabilities. Donald Trump made several contributions and policy changes in the field of education. He was a vocal advocate for school choice and education freedom. His administration promoted policies that aimed to expand access to charter schools, private schools, and other educational options for parents and students. In August 2020, Trump issued an executive order that would have effectively banned TikTok in the United States, if not for a potential acquisition by a US-based company. The main reason cited for the attempted ban was the fear that TikTok, which is owned by the Chinese company ByteDance, could be collecting and sharing data from American users with the Chinese government. The concern was that this data could be used for intelligence purposes or potentially pose a threat to U.S. national security. Additionally, Trump's handling of social issues further fueled the divide. His rhetoric on immigration, LGBTQ+ rights, and racial tensions sparked intense debates and protests. While his supporters viewed these stances as defending American values, critics saw them as exacerbating divisions within the country. Despite his accomplishments, Trump faced significant challenges during his tenure, including controversies, divisive rhetoric, and strained international relations. As the 2020 presidential election approached, Trump's bid for re-election was met with the same fervor as his first campaign. However, the election saw record turnout and a contentious battle over mail-in ballots, leading to widespread distrust in the electoral process. Following the election, Trump's refusal to concede and allegations of voter fraud further divided the nation.
We want to make sure the election is honest, and I'm not sure that it can be. I don't know that it can be with this whole...
His legal challenges to the election results were largely unsuccessful, leading to his departure from the White House in January 2021. This post-election period marked a significant turning point in Trump's political career, tarnishing his legacy and leading to questions about the future of the Republican Party. One of the most significant turning points during Trump's presidency was the investigation by special counsel Robert Mueller into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Though the investigation did not establish a criminal conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia, it fueled partisan divisions and led to calls for impeachment. In December 2019, the House of Representatives impeached Trump on charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, making him the third U.S. president to face impeachment. Looking ahead, speculation has arisen about the possibility of Donald Trump staging a comeback in the political arena. Several factors contribute to this, such as his enduring popularity among a significant segment of the population, his fundraising prowess, and his influence within the Republican. However, a potential Trump comeback is not without its challenges. Additionally, the The political landscape is continually evolving, with new contenders emerging within the Republican Party. We cannot discuss Donald Trump's presidency without considering his legacy and lasting impact on the country. For his supporters, he remains a symbol of the fight against the establishment, a champion of conservative values, and a leader who put America first. On the other hand, critics point to his handling of various issues, particularly his response to the COVID-19 pandemic,
we have it totally under control,
and concerns about his approach to immigration and climate change. Moreover, Trump's presidency highlighted the growing political divide in the United States, with stark differences in opinions and ideologies. His tenure shed light on the need for healing and unity across the nation, regardless of party lines. If Donald Trump decides to run for the presidency again, he would likely face a different landscape. New political players might have emerged, and the political priorities of the nation could have shifted. Additionally, his age might become a factor, as he would be older than most previous presidents were during their second term. Donald Trump's presidency was undoubtedly one of the most impactful and divisive in modern American history. From his early life in real estate to his rise to the nation's highest office, his journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. As we look to the future, the question of his potential return to the presidential race remains uncertain, but it's evident that his influence on American politics will endure for years to come. The story of Donald Trump's political journey serves as a stark reminder that leadership demands more than charisma. It requires empathy, diplomacy, and the ability to unite a divided nation. Join us again next time as we continue to explore fascinating stories from the history. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the rise and fall of Donald Trump. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future captivating content.